So before that, before we start, the serialization means, like, so far how we are creating an object and the object is saving into heap. So we are creating an object and object is saving into the heap, and once the usage is done, the object is removing from the garbage collector. The object is removed from the heap by using garbage collector. So,
Okay.
and we are not able to save the object into any particular file system, or we are not able to send the object from one JVM to another JVM. So these are the two things we are not able to do so far. We didn't save the object, one thing, and we didn't send that object to one JVM to another JVM. Say for instance, object is created in my machine. Okay, and I want to send that object, created object, to your JVM, your machine. So how it is possible? So these two things we can achieve by using serialization. You got it right, the context?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so these are the main context and the why we need to go for serialization. So how to do the serialization we will see. So let me create a simple Java project. Okay, so first what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to create a simple class. Let me create a simple class. So the class name I had given serialization comma demo.
Yeah.
Package is com.scr. So this is the simple class, right?
Yeah.
So here what I want to do, I want to create a simple class called student.
Yeah.
So this is the student, and for student I want to create two fields. The three fields, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to assign these three fields value by using constructor. Where is that constructor? Yes, resource. So this is the constructor. So I created a constructor with three arguments. So this is a constructor. Okay. After that, what I want to do, I want to generate a toString method. How can I generate? Right click, go to source, generate toString method, and print. So my toString method also ready.
Yes.
Okay, this is a simple class, student, and having constructor and one toString method. Now what I want to do, I want to create an object for student. How can I create student std equal to new student, and I need to pass the corresponding values as part of constructor. So 12 abc comma abc @ gmail.com. So this is my student object.
Yeah.
Student object is ready. So what I want to do, I want to save the student object into a file system, into a file, into a text file. So far this object is there and it's created inside the heap. So now what I want to do, I want to create a file and I want to save this object with these values into a file system so that I can able to read the file whenever I want.
Okay.
So we know how to create a file and how to write the data, how to read the data. So okay, now go back to first step, write the data into file system. How to write? File output stream, file output stream equal to new file output stream, and here we need to give the file name. File name I'm giving as a student dot txt. So this is the file name I want to create. Okay, and this file output stream constructor will throw an exception of type file not found. So I need to declare, I need to throw the exception, or I need to create the try catch. After that, what I had to do, I had to write the data. I had to write the data into this file. Okay, so how to write the data? So this is not a text, this is an object, right? So how to write an object into a file? So for that purpose, I had to create object output stream. Object output stream equal to new object output stream. I had to pass here file output stream object. Okay, now so this object output stream constructor will throw an exception of IO exception. So I had to throw this exception. Okay, now object output stream is ready. Now I had to write the student object. Let me write object output stream dot write. So this is the object. So I had to write here student. So this method, right? So what is the purpose of this method? You know, we can able to write the object into stream, and that stream is writing the data into the file. Okay. Once the usage is done, we have to close the stream. Now let me close it. Now file system is done. Creating the file and saving the data and object into the file system is done. Now let me run this program and we will see whether file is creating or not. See. So basically we are getting an exception. So what is the mean? If you see this exception, right? Not serializable exception. So creating the object and saving that object into the file system is illegal operation. So JVM will not allow this operation. Why? Because we are saving the data outside of the heap, right?
Yeah.
Okay, JVM will not allow this kind of operation. So we need to inform JVM this is an illegal operation, but please proceed it. So we need to convey some message. So how can I convey? So for that purpose, I had to implement a interface called serializable. So this is an interface, and this interface don't have anything. If you see this interface, it's a blank, nothing. Did you see any methods here?
No.
No, this interface we used to call as a marker interface, which doesn't have any methods.
Okay.
So this is just to convey a message to the JVM. You can proceed. Otherwise, JVM will not allow to save the object into the file system. It will throw an exception. Okay. Now I implemented this serializable. Now let me run again. Now we didn't see any exception. Now let me refresh it. Now file is created. Right? If you open the file, there is some data is there, but it is not clear to us.
Yes.
So we are not able to read it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now object we created and we saved that object into this file. Now let me comment out this program. We don't want this one. Why? Because we have already saved that object into the file system. Now I comment out. Now I did comment of the entire program. If you see that everything is comment out, right?
Right.
Commented out. So now what I want to do, I want to read this object from the file system.
Okay.
So I can pass this file to you, so you can able to read the object from file also. So whenever I want, so that I will read this file and I can get back that file object data. So object having three fields. One is age, name, and email. So now let me read the file. So how to read the file? File input system equal to new file input system, and which file I want to read? I want to read student.txt. So this is the file I want to read it. Okay. Now I had to write object input system object input system equal to new object input system fi object input system read object. So this file system having an object of type student, right? Yeah. So we need to downcast this object to a student. Okay, so this read object method, it will throw an exception of checked exception of type class not found. So we have to throw that exception back. Okay, now our student object is ready. So we got it from the file system. So once the usage is done, so we have to close the stream. So let me close it. Okay, now I want to print the student object. Okay, got it right. So we are reading the file and we got the student object and we are printing the student object.
Yes.
So did I'm creating any object here?
No, that was already done.
Yes, that is already done. Now let me run it and we will see. See, I can able to get the object.
Right.
So I can run this same program n number of times. So I can get the student values. So this is called serialization. So if you want to transfer the object over the network, so we have to use serialization. And if you want to save this object into the file system, so we have to use the serialization. So this is the advantage of serialization. So to perform or to save serialization operation on a particular object, that class must implement the serializable interface. Okay.
Right.
So this is one of the example of serialization. Say for instance, if any static fields is there inside the student class, static fields like a
Okay.
static string address. So you are not able to save that static field information into the file system. Why? Because static fields are not part of the object.
Okay.
Got it right? Static fields you can able to access without creating an object also, right?
Yeah.
So in that case, by considering that point, static fields will not be saved into the file system. Means we are not able to serialize. So this is one of the some more point about serialization. It is clear, right? Serialization.
Yep.
Okay. So now let me go back to some other topic, how to connect with the database by using Java. So far, right? So we are every time we are hard coding the data and we are displaying, right? So now I will give you an example. I will try to connect with the database and I will read the data from the database. So I will display the records.
Okay.
So how to connect with the database? We have so many databases like Oracle, MySQL, Sybase, DB2. There are so many databases, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So the code is same. There is only two things will change. I will tell you what is the 2 points will change for every database. So for every database, right, the Java code is same. I told you, right, two things. There some driver manager that will change. So that will be based on the vendor. So which vendor is providing the database? So they will give you a driver or some jar to you. So you have to use that jar in your Java program side. By using that, we can able to connect it. So let me write a simple program so that you will understand. The serialization is clear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. DB connection. Okay. Now let me create a simple class. DB connection demo.
Okay.
Okay, this is a simple class. So inside that, what I want to do, I want to create public void get records. So this is the method. So inside this method, what I want to do, public static, I make this one as a static. So this is a simple class, right?
Yeah.
Simple class, and this is a simple method. So inside that, what I want to do, I want to connect with the database and I want to get the database. I want to get the records.
Okay.
So before I want to connect with MySQL database. So let me show you the MySQL. So in my system, I already installed my SQL database. So let me open the console. So this is the console to connect with the database. So it will give you a, it will ask you the password. So because it's a server, right? So to connect with the database, we need some authentication. So let me enter the password. Now I can able to connect with the database. So inside this database, MySQL is one database. So there is so many instances are running. So let's suppose, say for instance, you and me, we are using the same database. So you will create multiple tables from your usage, and also I will create multiple tables from my purpose, right? But
Yeah.
server is only one.
Yeah.
So that's what. So people will create one instance for you and another instance for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can create your tables in your instance and I will create my tables in my instance. So that one we used to call it as a database. Let me show you how many databases or how many instances is there in this server. So there is a command called show databases. See, so there is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 databases are available so far. So let me select one database. Let me select, there is one database name called repairman.
Yeah.
Use repairman. So now I selected use repairman database. Let me see in this database how many tables are there.
Okay.
Two tables. So in this database there is three tables are there. If you see, right,
What?
categories, customer info and user underscore login. So let me maximize this window. Okay, now window is maximized. Now let me see in this particular table how many records are there. So SCLE select star. So these are the queries, right? What I'm using.
Yeah.
So these are
Yeah.
the part of like Oracle. It's a different course, but just I'm trying to give some information so that you will get some idea. Okay.
Yeah.
But I will not, I mean, we don't have much time to create all those things. It's basically a separate course. Some 1 month it will take to explain all those things, how to create databases and how to create tables and how to insert the data. But I will give you overview so that you will get some idea. Okay.
Okay.
So now I want to see the records or how many records are available in this table. So for that we need to execute a query. So whatever I'm typing, right? So this one we used to call it as a queries. So
Yeah.
to interact with the database server, so we have to give a command or query. So server can able to understand that command and it will give the results. So these are the results and these are the query, show tables. And right now I am typing another some command or query. Okay, select star from customer info. There is some spelling mistakes. So select star from customer CUST. Yeah. So this is the table. So I'm trying to retrieve a records from customer info. So this is the table name, and in this table, total how many records is there? 9 records are there. You can able to see these records, right?
Yes.
So these are the data available in this table. So basically, I want to read this data from my Java program.
Yeah.
So this is our goal. Okay. Let me go back to our Java program. So to connect with the database, right, like I told you, right, to connect with the database, we need mainly two things. One is the driver. So driver is belonging to which database you are connecting. So I am trying to connect with MySQL server. So MySQL is the vendor, right? So they will give you a driver to you. So you have to use that driver from your Java program site. So
Okay.
that driver having a sample program, I will show you. It's a MySQL user service, user details. Yes. So this is the some sample piece of code. That URL and all I need to copy. Okay, let me copy the URL, the driver details. So these are the driver details. So I will explain you this one. Okay. The first one is right. So like I told you, right, for every database having its own driver. So let me go back to Google and I will show you the all possible drivers. Okay, so let's suppose, say for instance, right now what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to use the MySQL, right? So for MySQL having, so this is the driver name. Okay, com.mysql.jdbc.driver. Say for instance, if you are trying to connect with Oracle, so they will give com.oracle.jdbc.driver. So for every database connection, we have to change this driver name. So what is the purpose of this driver? To connect with the database, right? So we need some object or some class, right? So this is the class. We need to create an object. So by using this class dot for name, it will create an object for this class, for driver class.
Okay.
And it will create the object and it will save that object into the heap.
Heap.
Okay.
Right.
Now object is created and it is available inside the heap. So that is the first statement. The second statement, so by using this object, we need to connect with the server.
Okay.
Okay. For that purpose, we have to import this driver manager class, and inside this driver manager class, so there is a method called get connection. So for this get connection, we need to pass the server details, to which server you want to connect. So I want to connect to this particular server. So this is a server URL. So if you see the server URL, so this server URL is for MySQL. So JDBC MySQL. So these details will be provided by the vendor. So right now I'm connecting to MySQL. So I have a JDBC MySQL, and this server is installed in my local machine.
Right.
So localhost and the particular port number, and the instance name is repairman. So if you see this query, right? So right now I'm using, what is the instance name? If you see here, see use repairman. So I connected to repairman instance. So that's what my instance name is repairman, and the username and password. To connect with this server, I created some dummy user ID and password. So these are the username and password, last two parameters. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. If I call this method, it will give it will give to us a connection. Now we have a connection. Connection object is ready with us. Okay. Now, so this class dot for name. So this method will throw an exception of type class not found. So I have to declare throw. At the same time, this driver manager got get connection though. So this is also will throw an exception of type SQL exception. So I had to throw the exception. Okay. Now there is no errors, right?
Yeah.
Okay. After that, now we have connection is ready.
Yes.
So now, right, so here what I did, so here I written one command, C select star from customer info, right? So now we have to execute this command from our Java program.
Okay.
Then we will get these records.
Right.
So how to execute a command or how to execute a query? Con dot create statement. So now I have a connection object. By using connection object, we need to get the statement object.
Right.
We need to call this method. So now we have statement object. Let me statement object dot execute. So here we have to pass the query. So which query you want to execute? So I want to read records from select star from repairman. What is the table name? Not
Return.
customer info. So this is the
Yes.
table name. So
Table.
I need to type here. So this is the query. So now if you call this execute query, what it will do? It will give you the results. So how many results is there here? How many records? Some 9 records.
Yeah.
So these 9 records will be saved into result set.
Okay.
So result set. So this result set having all the 9 records. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to iterate this result set, and so that we can able to see each row. So this rows and columns is there, right?
Yeah.
So 9 rows is there and some 7 columns is there.
Yeah.
Okay, now go back to this result set and how to iterate it. So we have to write a while loop. While, okay. Now first write RS is a result set. So by default cursor will be there at the top column level or first row. First row is headers, right? It doesn't have any data, right? Only address line one, something is there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so for that was to bring the cursor to the original line. So we need to call it as a next. Next. Okay. After that, let me write system out. So what column I want to read for? What is the first column? Address underscore ID, right?
Yeah.
So I want to read address underscore ID and I want to print it. Address ID colon. So how to read a column value? RS dot get string, and we have to pass the column name. What is the column name here?
Column name is the custom address ID.
Address underscore ID. So we have to pass that one. Address underscore ID. So this is the column name. Now let me run it and whether we'll see whether we can able to get the. We are not calling this method, right? So we need to call this method from here. Now this is fine. So this method is throwing this exception. So I have to declare this exception as part of my main method also.
Okay.
This is done now. Let me run it. Yeah. So there is an exception. What is that exception? com.mysql.jdbc.driver. It's class not found. So I told you, right? So this class is developed by MySQL people. So we don't have this class in our package. Does we have? But we are calling this package, right?
Yep.
So for that purpose, so what that MySQL people will give, whenever you are buying a license, so they will give you a jar. So you need to connect, you need to add that jar to your project. So where is that Java build path? Libraries, add external jars. So I have already MySQL connector dot jar. So this jar having that class. So this class. Okay, now let me run it and we'll see the results. See now I can able to retrieve first column value, address ID, right? You see that one? What is the address ID? 123459.
Yes.
Now I want to retrieve the second column name. What is the second column name? Address underscore line number 1. Let me go back. Print. Okay, now let me type. Second one is address line. What is the column name? Address underscore line 1. Line 1. Okay. So now let me run it and we will see whether I can able to retrieve the second column or not. Okay, let me paste it in the same printout so that we can able to see the view. Run it. Yeah, did you see that? First one is address ID is 1 and address line is line 1.
Yes.
Data is same, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Line 1, line 1, line 1. So now I want to read state. State is having KAAP, some different values, right? This column I want to read. So for that purpose, what I will do, I will copy the same thing as it is. So here I will write state. So here I will keep as state. Okay. Now let me run it and we'll see the results. Yeah, you see that state also is coming up.
Yeah.
Basically, you need to pass here corresponding column name. Result set dot get string, and you need to pass here which column you want to read. So like that, we can able to read the database records. So once the usage is done, we have to close the connection. How to close the connection? Con dot close. So otherwise, the database connection still will be in active mode. And if 10 people are trying to connect, so 10 connections are still inactive, so that you will see the performance issue. So this is the simple way to connect with the database and to get the records and to display the records. So once you execute your query, you will get a result set, and you need to iterate that your result set, and you need to pass your column ID, column name, and it will give you the corresponding value. So this is clear, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And you have any doubt when in this particular example?
No, actually, I had a little exposure on.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, you need to practice from your side so that you will be 100% clear. Whenever you are practice, yeah, tell me.
I need to download the database. Anything else in my computer?
Yes, you have to download MySQL database from this URL, and you have to install into your machine.
Okay.
So there is an exe file. Go to mysql.com. So you need to download it. So you need to download two things. One is MySQL server.exe file, and the second one is this connector. What is that? Yes. The first one is we need to download MySQL server.exe file, and you have to install. Once if you install in your machine, and you will see these many folders like yeah, you will see a MySQL with all these options.
Yeah.
Go to this one and you click this black window, and you will get this black window. You need to enter the username and password while you installing this MySQL server, right? So it will ask the username and password you have to enter.
Okay.
While installing. Once the installation is done, then whenever you are clicking this black window, it will ask the password. Okay. So like initially I entered, right, the password. if you see the first command, so it will ask you, please enter the password.
Okay.
So you need to enter the password, and by default it is having some default instance name like world, sys, cycle. These are the default one, and rest of this one I created, repairman.
Okay.
So you can create your own database, or you can use the existing database, and you can select one particular table, and you can refer the table in your particular, I mean that URL, and you can give the password whatever you had given, and rest of the things are same. Also you need to download this particular jar, download the jar and keep somewhere, and you need to refer it for your your Java project. Build path, right click, properties, libraries, Java build path, libraries, and add external jars.
Yes.
That's
So
all.
this MySQL connected jar file is also available in the same website?
Yes, you can download that MySQL jar from here only, from MySQL dot mysql.com, and here you can able to download. See here, custom and download. So you can click here. If you try to Google, just click here, and then you will get this one. So I selected, I think, MySQL Server 5.5. So you can download whatever
Okay.
version you have. So it's like that. If you want for Windows, Mac, or whatever, so you can download it.
Okay.
It's the size is somewhere some 330 MB. So you'll get for everything, for all Windows. You can change your operating system as per yours is Mac, right? So you select Mac. Where is Mac? Mac OS. So this is the Mac size.
Yeah.
Then you can select corresponding your version.
Okay.
Then you can download it, and you will get one exe file, and you install it. After that, you need to download the driver. So how to driver means the jar. So for that purpose, I need to type MySQL JDBC driver jar download. So click this one and go to here. You can download from anywhere, it's not a problem. So here, so which version of software you downloaded? So based on that, you select your version, server version. So mine is 5.08, and then you can download it.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you can download the zip or jar one version, and you can download it. You will get the jar file. Then you can refer it, and you can write that in that program. Then you can able to connect it.
Okay. So I have to go to the properties and again adding from the external jar file. So
Correct. Yes. Yes.
yeah.
Then you can able to connect it. So
Okay.
if you need, right, I can able to upload these programs into GitHub. GitHub, you have any idea?
Yeah, I have an idea. So if you do that, that should be better. Actually.
Yes, I will upload all these projects, right? Whatever I have typed for you, I will upload everything to the GitHub, and I will give you that GitHub link to you, so that you can able to download, and you can copy paste these programs, and you can practice yourself.
Okay.
Okay, I will try to upload by today, and I will send you that email, that GitHub link to you.
So today actually for core Java actually most of the part actually completed, no?
Yes.
So what I want to do, and this week actually I will.
This week you want to practice it?
Yeah, actually,
Yes, you can practice it.
actually, and I was actually going through all the document, whatever we have already completed, you know.
Okay.
So actually, I formalize all these things. Just now, I'm actually making some queries for it, so that from the next week we can just start it from my queries on the core Java, so that we can finish up, brush up, and then go for the next level. Do you understand?
So when you will, so
Next month.
next week, can we start something? Can we start some servlet JSP this week? You can read.
Okay, yeah. No, I'm asking that actually this week I'll finish, and if I have some queries, so
Yeah, you
can
can
we?
discuss next week. No problem.
Yeah, that's I'm talking.
Yes,
So
yes, fine,
hopefully
no
this
issue.
week I can finish whatever you finish, and
Mm.
whatever I have the question, I'll compile all these things,
Yes.
and so that I can be up to the mark, and the next week and we'll start again. If I have the queries, you can
Yeah, we
just
can discuss. No problem. Next week. Okay.
yeah, that's the topic.
Yeah, next week we will discuss queries. If we have any queries, we will discuss. Else, we will do. We will discuss something.
Yes.
Okay, daily we will connect next week. If we have any queries, we will discuss. If we don't have any queries, then we will, start some different new topic.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
So
Yeah,
that,
and then we'll talk.
yeah, that's our plan. Okay.
So then I'll talk.
Yeah, we can read it. All the topics today, and we will connect next Monday.
Okay.
Your Monday night.
Yes.
Okay. If you,
Okay.
in
Thank you.
between, if you have any question, you can send an email or you can just message me so that we can connect.
Okay, yeah, I'll do it. Thank you.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, bye.